Hello, hello, welcome back to Oolykee Gaming and welcome to the second episode of mod reviews of the most popular mods from last 7 days. It's a beautiful winter day and let's get started. Now, okay, so most of the mods you can see here are actually, or most of the buildings you can see here are actually mods, believe it or not. I'm gonna show you everything. We have Stalin's buildings, we have Bolshoj Theatre, we have our city hall, and many other mods. I'm gonna show you everything. We're gonna go through every one of them. There are actually quite few of them. Well, 9 of them. Right, so the first of them will be Bolshoj Theatre. Right, so we have a Bolshoj Theatre that can employ 50 people, of course, it's a culture center. For those of you who don't know what Bolshoj Theatre is, I'm gonna give you a little bit of an introduction. The Bolshoi Ballet and Bolshoi Opera are amongst the oldest, most renowned ballet and opera companies in the world. It's by far the biggest ballet company with more than 200 dancers. The theater is parent company of the Bolshoi Ballet Academy, a world famous leading school of ballet. Its branch and it has a branch in theater school in Joinville, Brazil. Okay, a little bit not too much information, but still, nevertheless. So this is the Bolshoi Theatre. This is how it looks in winter. I'm not gonna go into checking out in summer. We'll see how the time goes. If the snow clears, you're gonna see it in the summer as well. Building can be found in the mod section under cinema. You can see it here. Costs 70,000 rubles, depending on how far from the border you are, but more or less you can find it here. And this is the 3,620 work days, more or less, to construct. Yes, this looks really beautiful. You're gonna definitely see this in my Let's Plays. Right, the next one is gonna be Stalin's architecture, Stalin Empire style houses. Stalin architecture, general term for architecture in the USSR from the early 1930s, competitions, palace of Soviets, to the mid-1950s, which is a characteristic, recognizable combination of several architectural styles, and different from the previous period of 1920s, the flowering of the architectural avant-garde. Stalin's Empire style is also known as. Right, so we have a set of 9 buildings. They are quite recognizable. You can see them here. They're actually quite nice. I quite like them. Some of them are slim and tall, and they have specific names. You can see here 1 out of 6. 1 out of 9, 1 out of 12. Now, what does those numbers mean? Of course, number 12 would be number of floors. So these houses would have 9 floors, as you can see them here. 3, 6, 9, 12 floors. So this one is 12 floors. Sorry. This one is 9 floor one. So you can see here 9, and number 1 in this case is how many entrances it has to the building. It's similar. I mean, for some people it might be weird, but actually that's where I come from also. We count number of entrances as well. It goes all the way to 6. These are the biggest ones. So smallest ones have 1 entrance, middle size 3 entrances, and the biggest one 6 entrances. So that means we would have 6 out of 6, 6 out of 9, and 6 out of 12. First number being entrance to the building, and the second one being number of floors. So you can see here as well 3 middle buildings and 3 smallest of the buildings. Now the smallest building is 96 people maximum capacity, while the biggest out of the smallest one 692. They go all the way to 1,152. That's a huge one. That's a big one. 864, and the smallest out of big ones is 576. They look nice. They're not too big. I believe I will be using them. Also, bear in mind that I have quality of flights 98%, which is one of the higher in the game. Really nice mod, really nice. By the way, all the mods you're gonna find in the description of this video. One other mod is Vologda train station, Vologda 1 or Vologda Gorod. This is a train station that is... I'm gonna read first description of the station. It's quite a big one. Technically it says that it has... okay, let's read this. Vologda 1. Before 1926 was called Vologda Gorod. It's a railway station in Vologda. It is located 494 kilometers from Yaroslavsky railway station in Moscow and 597 kilometers from Ladorsky railway station in St. Petersburg. Station has 5 railway tracks, 4 long and 1 short one. By the way, the short one is this huge track that is here, only a little bit shorter than the rest of them. They are sufficiently big. Mod can be found in mods under platforms and stations, and it should be one of the last stations. You have 2 different versions, train station Vologda and the one that you can rename. I believe we have the one that can have a transparent. Here we go. Maybe we can do all capitals then and see how it looks like. Doesn't look like an... here we go. Volkaz and Oolykee here. There you go. Train station can be found here, and it can hold 10,000 passengers with 5 train lines. That's quite amazing. That's really nice. It costs to build 4,000 work days. The main construction material is, well, everything. 520 prefab panels, 233 tons of steel, and 100 tons of bricks. Anyway, this is a really nice mod. We'll see if we're gonna implement it in our game. Right, the next one would be the fire station. Now, apparently, this is a copy of a Lublin fire station. I never went to Lublin, unfortunately, so I can't really claim that, but I think it looks really, really nice. So it can employ as many trucks you put, that's how many people it can employ. Looks really nice, looks clean and tidy and small enough. It doesn't take a lot of space, even smaller than the in-game one. That's a positive thing. Also, it can house that many firefighters, that is 47 in this case. Now, of course, the number of firefighters depends on the number of vehicles you have and type of the vehicles you have. In this case, we have 47 maximum. It can house all of them. Now, fun fact about this one, I wanted to say something about the firefighters. This one has 5 vehicles. I never found anything, even if the oil field was on fire, I never found the need more than 4. They do struggle with coal power plant or something like that that is big. They struggle with 4 vehicles, but if it's manned properly, they will be turning the fire off. This is 5 vehicles, so you have additional vehicle and additional people that can actually manage the fires. Of course, if we go to the mods, it should have its own section under fire station. Well, fire stations do. And yes, you can see it here. I'm gonna just say that it takes 1,193 work days to finish it. 50 maximum number of workers. Maybe we can get that to more than 50. We can try that. Let me just see if we can do this. If we remove some of these vehicles. Yes, and let's see if we can get more than 50, because I believe that they are dependent on number of vehicles, and if we take all the top vehicles here, yes, 60 is the maximum number of people that we can have in there. So technically it doesn't matter. It's a wonderful mod and I love it. Probably in the scenarios where I'm going to be using coal or oil or anything like that, I think I'm going to be building these kind of fire stations, especially if it's a big city that we can man it all. Anyway, wonderful mod. In the description, also leave a comment in the comment section what you think about it. Next up, the city hall. Now, this is a nice mod, a large city hall in a neoclassical style for up to 50 workers. Good and bad things about it. I don't think we need any more people working in the city hall, because they're taking all the valuable spaces, all the valuable workplaces, so the workers can work elsewhere. And also it's limited. If you lower this under 25, which is half, it stops working. That means that you need 25 people for us to have data about our town. So as soon as you allow it to have more than 30 people, we have data. Now, why is this a problem? Problem is that you have to have at least 25 people to work it, which is more than vanilla one. Vanilla requires 30 people with 15, I believe, no, 25 people with 13. you can already get the data that you need. Now, building looks really nice, really beautiful, but bear in mind that it's going to require a little bit more people to work on. You can find it in the mod. Of course, it has its own section called City Hall, and it requires 2,269 workdays to finish. Some concrete, a lot of bricks, and some other materials, but brick is the main building material. Okay, let's move on. Okay, next one. Football stadium. I built only one example. There are 4 of them in different colors. That would be white and red, yellow and green, white and blue, and orange-ish color. Now this is white and red because it's symbolic in Polish flags. I'm not Polish, but I like Poland, and yeah, why not? There are a couple of football clubs I prefer, and they're wearing the same colors. Okay, let's discuss it. This game considers if you go to a stadium that you're actually doing some sports. I don't think real life counts. When you go to a stadium, you have a couple of beers, you enjoy the game, you don't actually play the game. So I doubt that this should be counted as sport activity, but game does it. I wanted to build a couple of these stadiums just to pretend how our nice little Soviet country has football league, and I think I'm going to be doing that in the future. This gives us additional options. We already have a couple of mods for stadiums. This gives us even more options. I've been testing this mod for the last couple of hours, and it works immaculately. You can find it in a mod section under sports playgrounds, and you have it here, different colors: green and white, green and yellow, red and white, blue and white, and I think it's black and orange. These are 4 different schemes you have. 2,478 work days to finish. Prefab panels is the main, and concrete is the main construction material. Okay, right, next up, school. We have a school from 1950s, 4 stories high. Okay, what can we say about this school? A school from the 1950s or 50s, loosely based on a real building in Lublin, Poland, employs twice as many workers and educates twice as many pupils as default school. You have a description in Polish as well, but I think I butchered that language enough, so I'm gonna skip it for now. Okay, so obviously this is something that is really useful because it doesn't take so much space and actually can educate a lot of people. I like it. Where I come from, we used to go in separate shifts in the school, and now I live in Ireland, and it was much more capacity percentage. It was more crowded, but you can educate much more people than you usually would, and I think this kind of building would be my little hometown. Never had this tall of a building, but I know schools in bigger towns that had this big of a grade school or school building. I think it's a really wonderful mod. I think I'm gonna be using this one definitely. Okay, you can find it in the mod section under schools, and we have a lot of schools from the same modder, and this is 1950s 4-story high house, 1,191 work days. The main construction material appears to be bricks. Okay, let's move on. Right. Exactly next to our school building we have a hospital building. Now this is a new one which doesn't require vehicles to go all the way in when they need to do, and they go faster in and out. So technically vehicle has to be parked at one point for the other one to go out in vanilla mod, but here that's not the case. They are going in and out a little bit faster than they would do in a normal hospital. Everything else seems to be the same. Now, description of this, I have no idea what this means, but I'm gonna read description. This is an original hospital, but without traffic jams. Thanks to additional driving courses, more than one ambulance can move around the hospital. The courses are free, so you can successfully use this hospital instead of the native one. I think that means vanilla one. However, there is a side effect. Very rarely drivers can ram each other. P.S. Journalists from NATO countries say that occasional small traffic jams can still occur, but there is no reason to believe them. Nice description. I like it. Anyway, it's a hospital that is exactly the same like a vanilla one, but traffic goes a little bit faster. I think it's really good. By crashing each other, I think think it's when they actually just drive through each other. I don't think there are actual crashes happening. Mod can be found on the mods, and you have it under hospital, and there we go with the sign, double-sided sign. That means they go in and out at the same time. Not really as we saw, but definitely faster than vanilla one. Okay, let's move on. Right, so we have another one. A double-decker container wagon. What is double-decker container wagon, I hear you ask? Version 2. It's a second version of my double-decker container wagon. Now works with in-game containers. Double stacking ability is kept, so you can transport... I'm gonna pause for a second. So you can transport twice as many containers in one train. Enjoy making long and awesome-looking monsters going through throughout your republic. Costs $18,000 and transports 75 tons of raw tonnage. P.S. For those who ask why I didn't update my previous mod, it's more stable this way, and since every save game is unique, I can't guarantee stability after changing wagon types. In this case, from covered to open, thank you for your understanding. There's also translation in Russian and Slovakian/Czech one. Okay, well, let's see how it works. Okay, I intentionally built this as an electric line. Usually this kind of vehicle would be on American railroads, I believe. American transports. I didn't really check if Trans-Siberian Railroad does the same, but I built it with electrical cabling above just to see if we have any clearance from above, if it's going through the cables, but no. Looks like the mod is doing amazing work. It does exactly as advertised. So we have 4 containers transporting at the same time. You can see here all the containers. I have different stuff here, mostly electrical equipment and chemicals. Now we're gonna follow this train all the way through. This is the last mod on the list. You can find your cargo wagons if you buy them with dollars under double-decker container wagon. As well, you can find it in construction menu of your train construction yard. We will see. Of course, this has a lot of some resources on it. Probably we can make even bigger one, but that would take a little bit longer. We already had like twice the amount of containers. I could have built a bigger train, but I think you can imagine how this is gonna look. Okay, we're closing into the border. Let's speed this up. And let's see how they work on the exporting side of things. Here we go. They docked. And bam! They're done. Unloaded all the containers. Perfect! There we go. That's 9 mods. I'm recording this on Monday 27th of July, and hopefully you're gonna see it on Monday 27th of July. Yes, I think all of those mods I'm gonna be using myself, and yes, it's really nice. One last look of our mods here. We have Vologda train station. We have our stadium here with beautiful red and white colors. We have Bolshoj Theatre. We have our city hall, fire station, school, hospital, the whole set of our Stalin style buildings, and of course our double-decker train. We're trying to find it. Here we go. The second load is going out. So you can see how it looks in spring as well. Kinda it's still winter, but more or less spring-ish time. There we go. What do I think about it? I think it's amazing. I'm doing Let's Plays in like 30 episodes that they last around 1 month, 1 hour long, and I'm hoping that in one of them we're gonna be so rich that we can afford these kind of trains, hopefully in the next one, because this one is closing to an end. Will I be using these mods? Absolutely, 100%, well, or 90%, because if I don't use one of them, I think you guys are gonna kill me. So yeah, I think they're really amazing. Stalinist buildings, especially the smaller ones, I think Stalin's buildings, I think I'm gonna be using them. School, definitely, twice the population than usual school, but it's also twice the big and it requires more teachers. City hall, that's the iffy one, requires more workers, maybe if we're rich. Bolshoj Theatre, 100% that's gonna be on our construction list, because I love Bolshoi Theatre and I think it's an iconic building, plus it has a really nice purpose in the game. That's it. What's your favorite one? leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about these mods. You can see the whole list of the mods in the description. If by any chance I missed them, I do apologize. Okay, that's the episode 2 done. Guys, if you like these ones, if you like these kind of videos, please leave a comment. Tell me what you think about it. Should I stop it or should I continue doing these small reviews? Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment in the comment section. See you in the next one. Bye bye.